Okay, an absolute blast of a preseason game where the Raiders lose to the 49ers 22-19, but who cares about that because we've got a lot to discuss, and if you can't tell by my choice of glasses on my face, I'm pretty excited to talk about this game. Now, there's a lot to say. Ashton, Gino, the offense, the offensive line, the defensive line, Tyree Wilson. I would like to start off by saying this. This is why you don't have extreme reactionary takes one game to the next in a preseason where games don't matter, because all the doom and gloom people are now going to say what? That they're all of a sudden going to go 17-0 now because the first team and a lot of the second team played pretty well? Or are those people that said, oh, no, we suck, same old Raiders, going to be a long season, now going to say, oh, well, the preseason doesn't matter? If you have the take that the preseason doesn't matter at all, in terms of like what the offense and the defense and the special teams is actually going to look like when the season starts, well, then you could just kick your legs up and enjoy what you're watching and evaluate at a player-by-player basis. But if you had such reactionary vibes to the first game, you now have to do a complete 180 or shut the hell up. That's why you have to listen to the people who have been watching this game for a long, long time. And I've been watching it my whole life. And I'm here to tell you, these games don't matter. But what you can do is watch the growth and improvement from week to week. Study the cohesion. Make sure we're doing the right things, executing the plays, and you can see flashes. That's what the preseason is for. Are people popping off the screen? And we're going to talk about all of that. But before we continue any further, I need to tell you a little bit about the sponsor for this video, OddsJam. Look at these results. People are making thousands every month betting on sports completely risk-free. The secret, they're using OddsJam. OddsJam isn't just another betting app. It's turning the entire system in your favor. Here's how. OddsJam uses a strategy called arbitrage, finding odds discrepancies across the sports books. You bet both sides, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's an example. If you bet $500 on Boise State to win on FanDuel and $335 on their opponent San Francisco on DraftKings, you're guaranteed to make $50 win or lose. It's that simple. With the OddsJam mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands of dollars every month, and to get you started, use promo code ALLaBorde for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I guarantee you'll profit during that trial, and if you don't, cancel with one click. No questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com, use promo code ALLaBorde, and start making money the smart way. Okay, so initially, we get the ball. No, we kicked off, right? We kicked off, and Max Crosby looks like A1, the best player in the National Football League on defense. He looks awesome. I even saw some people last week in the one drive that Max played said, I don't know, I think Max might have lost a step. It's infuriating because he's popping just like he always does. Now, the defense in the secondary, again, is leaving something to be desired. The secondary is not very good right now. Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall were able to do a lot of things to affect our defense negatively. Now, a big step up from last week was the run defense, especially with a Landon Roberts finally making an impact and Tyree Wilson. I've had my doubts about him. The Tyree Wilson truthers will say, well, his rookie year didn't really count because he was hurt, and then his second year he started to show some signs. But for me, when you use the 7th pick in the draft, I believe that's what it was, on Tyree Wilson, and he doesn't pop, there's that word again, it's hard for me to get excited about him. But in this game, with the ones and the twos, he was all over the field. He didn't fill up the stat sheet, but he was consistently pushing back the guard he was lining up against when he was playing defensive tackle, or the tackle he was lining up against. Now, I don't believe Trent Williams was out there. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure they were starting some of their offensive line starters, and him and Max were having a field day, and this run defense is much improved. And Pete Carroll said it was a lot of boneheaded schematic mistakes, and that's why you play these preseason games, to see what you have to coach, right? And a lot of the times with old Raider teams, like last year and the year before and the year before that, we had a tough time making adjustments, and that's what you want to see in these preseason games, right? What matters, like I said, is the cohesion and improvement from game to game. And the secondary is still leaving a lot to be desired, but the secondary also seems to be boom or bust, because at least we're forcing turnovers. Second week in a row, we have an interception by a starting safety. Last week, it was obviously Isaiah Paul-Mao. This week, it was Jeremy Chin. So while the secondary isn't playing great, in fact, they're playing pretty bad, at least they are forcing turnovers, which is the Legion of Boom Pete Carroll way. And I was thinking a lot about this too. I love the idea of Pete Carroll ushering in the next phase of Patrick Graham, because I always said Patrick Graham was okay as a coordinator to good at times. But now with Pete Carroll, I do think they're going to be able to scheme away a lot of the secondary issues. It's still going to be a problem, but this run game clearly, I keep saying run game, this run defense, I want to talk about Ashton Jeanty. We're going to get to it. This run defense clearly stepped up from week 1 to week 2. Now, before I go any further, I just want to shout out my patrons and let you guys know you can join my Patreon, link in the description below, and it's the pinned comment, as well as you can join YouTube memberships on this channel. It's only one tier, and you get all the benefits and access. And if you join before the new league year, before kickoff, you have a chance to win $100. I'm going to pick one of the YouTube members randomly. Right now, you have like a 1 in 6 shot of winning. We'll see if more people join, but shout out to them. Hit that like button, comment away, and please be sure you do subscribe, because we're trying to get to 14,000 for the new league year. Okay. Flipping to the offense. You know, we're in the business of giving our takes and making opinions and making predictions, right? And last year, I drank the Antonio Pierce Kool-Aid. I thought he was only going to improve from what he did as an interim, right, which is go 500, and I predicted 10-7. And I made those predictions with Aiden in mind and not Gardner, and that's on me, right? There are 2 times where I drank the Kool-Aid and my predictions were wrong. The McDaniels first year and the AP first year. Other than that, I've been spot on with my predictions. Yeah, basically. I've been almost within a game of every single prediction for the win-loss. Now, I still think we're probably going to go either 9-8 or 10-7. I'm leaning more 10-7 now than I was a couple months ago. But I am not drinking the Kool-Aid on this. I firmly believe this. I am planting my flag in the ground right now. The Las Vegas Raiders will have a top 10 offense. Now, part of that might be because we're going to need to score a lot of points to keep up with some of the secondary issues. But other than that, Geno Smith, and you could see it when Aiden and Cameron in the game, the grasp of the offense that Geno Smith has is unlike anything we've had since 2016 Derek Carr. And now Chip Kelly in this game is starting to show us a little bit more of what the offense is going to look like. First of all, we came out in like sort of a hybrid pistol. What's that formation called where Geno's shotgun but Ashton's behind him? And they're doing a lot of that read option college football type play action passing to take the top off the defense. Geno comes out, Brock Bowers for 30 yards, Moss the guy, he's too small. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Brock Bowers is a top 5 offensive number 1 option in the league. There's 3 people I would take over him. It's Jamar Chase, it's Justin Jefferson, it's CeeDee Lamb. After that, you can make arguments, but I think Brock Bowers, pound for pound, the age he's doing this at is without question a top 5 offensive weapon. You've had Jacoby Myers in there making plays. You've got Trey Tucker making big third down plays. And the interesting thing with Trey Tucker is that, yes, he can take the top off the defense, but he's learning and growing as a polished route runner and making those 3rd and 7 crisp route completed passes when you need it. Michael Mayer had a big play, but here's what I want to talk about again, and they haven't yet connected. But Dante Thornton is continuing to burn the secondary of every team he plays, and Geno Smith is airing that thing out. We were talking about it in the Discord, which, by the way, join my Discord. The links are below. It's completely free. Geno and this offense, it's going to be air raid. I'm going to come out and say this. They're going to have the second best offense in the AFC West. I'm giving the I'm giving the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt because they've earned it. But I think we're going to have a better offense than the Broncos and definitely better offense than the Chargers. I believe that wholeheartedly. And now we get to the pièce de résistance. What everybody was panicking about. Not everybody, but a lot of people in my comments and on Bleacher Report and on Twitter, even though I don't go on Twitter, I could only imagine the cesspool that was the Ashton Jeanty talk. And even Chris Broussard on First Things First, which is my favorite sports show, said Ashton Jeanty had less yards than I did. And I know he was just trying to be funny, blah, blah, blah. Ashton Jeanty has arrived. Not only is he able to push through every single first contact guy, he's going to lead the league in yards after contact this year. Not only did the offensive line look significantly better than it did last week, and JPJ and Jordan Meredith got right out of the game after those first two drives instead of playing well into the third quarter, but Ashton Jeanty, I don't know if you guys saw, he took the life of a man today. I don't know who that was that he embarrassed and put into the ground, but he ran over his ass for a first down. And there was another play where another guy tried to tackle him. They collided. Ashton stayed up, probably hurt his shoulder or whatever, and then got 3 more yards, went into the blue tent, came out of the blue tent, came back into the game, and ran that guy over. Can we put to bed, at least for the time being, that this preseason stuff matters at all in terms of the negativity toward Ashton Jeanty? I know there's not a lot to talk about when these preseason games are happening. The only thing we have are joint practices and some plays in the preseason. And the offensive line was not good in week 1. But it was a lot better in week 2. And there was a lot of San Francisco 49ers starters out there. And Ashton Jeanty embarrassed them. Carry after carry after carry. He made a nice catch in the backfield. He made a man miss. And I'm going to say this. I'm just going to say it, and then we can move on from it. Comment below who you think he looks like, but I think he looks like Marshawn Lynch. The way he bounces off guys, and it's, like in a video game where you have like a power-up where you get hit or you hit somebody and you gain more strength along the way. That's what he looks like. He looks like he absorbs the contact and then gets stronger. And then he scores a touchdown. This offense is going to be top 10. Knock on wood, barring injuries. The offensive line will be fine. The running game is going to be electric. The pass game is going to be electric. The play calling is going to be electric. And even when the starters came out, Jack Besh flashed. And again, this is no negativity toward Jack Besh playing with the twos, because I've had some people say, are you concerned that Jack isn't really making an impact? He's playing about as well as I thought he would coming into his rookie season. Typically, you don't have rookie wide receivers just explode onto the scene, right? It's pretty rare to do what Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers and Brian Thomas did. It doesn't happen all the time. People are panicking about Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison had a good year. But Dante Thornton is just continuing to show his ability to take the top off the defense. And unfortunately for Jack, Dante is just a better receiver right now. It doesn't mean that Jack can't be great one day, and he has to learn how to do things a certain way like Jacoby Myers is doing, right? But this offense looks unbelievable. Now, we transition to the second team, which had some ups, had some downs. The second team defense was not great. Tommy Eichenberg flashed a little bit. Jonah Lalau flashed a little bit. Carter had a sack. Aiden was okay. I mean, he made some good throws. He made some bad throws. He threw another bad pick. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about a backup quarterback and complaining about backups throwing bad passes because they're backups. If backups threw nothing but good passes, they wouldn't be backups. Like McCorkle Jones threw an interception. That guy led the team to the playoffs in New England. So it's like, if you're a backup, you're going to make bad plays. I'm not going to say, God, Aiden should be better. Oh, why should he be better? He's a backup quarterback. Like, the future of the franchise is not on this roster right now. It's probably not Cam Miller. It's not Aiden O'Connell. Maybe a couple years ago we thought that. We have a better picture of what he is now, especially when you compare him to Geno Smith, who has nothing but control of this offense. And Chip Kelly, man, I'm just telling you guys, I've seen it all. I've seen the ups and downs of the Raiders, okay? I know what bad football looks like, and I know what good football looks like. And, again, the secondary could be a problem, especially the cornerback group. The safety group is fine. Linebackers popped today. Defensive line was okay. It was a lot better against the run. But Ashton is probably going to win Rookie of the Year. He could be top 5 in rushing. Geno Smith, this could be the best offense he's ever been a part of. And when people say things like that, you have to take coaching into account. This is the frustrating thing about like the Mahomes argument of like, well, he just keeps winning. You know, you got it. He's the number 1 quarterback. He just keeps winning. And it's like, are we going to talk about how Andy Reid is the greatest offensive mind this game has ever seen and how Steve Spagnuolo is the best defensive coordinator in the league? And people are talking like, should we put defensive coordinators in the Hall of Fame because of Steve Spagnuolo? The guy's got like 5 Super Bowls or whatever it is. When you say Geno Smith can be a top 10 quarterback and this offense can be top 10, it's about the players on the field and it's about the coaching off the field, which we never talk about. Am I lagging? I think I just lagged a little bit. All that to say, I am very excited to start this season. Wake me up when September starts. This third preseason game, I don't imagine the starters are going to play at all. You never know. But I think they kind of got scared with Ashton going into the blue tent, although they put him right back in the game, which is crazy. Leave comments. Remember, don't overreact to this. Don't underreact to it. Enjoy it. Ride the wave into the regular season. We're 2 weeks away. Shout out to the sponsor, OddsJam. Their link will be in the description as well. Can't wait to announce the next sponsor that we got coming up in a little bit. I'm very, very excited on that. Like I said, join that Patreon, join the YouTube membership if you want to have a chance at winning $100. It's 1 tier. You get all the good benefits. Drop likes, drop comments, and please be sure to subscribe to this for after no charges to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.